should now be able to hear us. Sweet.
Fantastic. Thank you, Cameron. Hello, everyone. Welcome to episode 4 of the Real Gamerscore Podcast, where we act professional, try to be professional, but really, it's just so not true. And to prove it, we brought on one of our guests of the one of the hosts of the Real Gamerscore Podcast, Kirby. How you doing, mate?
Good. I'm very uncomfortable looking at my face there. It's like, and now I'm like, oh my god, my availability of movement is like that. So I'm like, don't. No.
I mean, I'm looking at chat right now, and even they're telling you to move the fuck back, mate. So
yeah, all right.
That's much better. All right, cool.
Perfect. Nailed it.
Yeah. As long as you can still hear me, it's fine.
Yeah, perfect. Yeah, exactly right. You've got a face for podcasting anyway. This week we're going to be talking about some great savings on your next rental, enticing renters with live entertainment, and some new paint fixes and some stuff on the podcast.
God, you butchered the hell out of that.
I'm just reading what you've written here. It doesn't make any fucking sense.
All right.
Why do I let you write this? Why do I let you?
Cool. Let's start this again from scratch. Yeah.
All right. You know what? I'm doing it. This week we're going to talk about sales. We're going to talk about Game Pass, and we're also going to talk about Kirby. So it'll be pretty much just like the old Real Gamerscore Podcast.
This is how he looks.
Exactly. Look, just imagine who he swallowed. But first, without any further ado, here's the song of the week.
All right.
With all their big scary hooks to make a space zombie out of you. Because you need a big gun and to be ready to run, 'cause they're about to tear you in two. Because the doors never work, they got you trapped for the hurt, 'cause they got jump scares to make you scream. They're gonna bite off your heads and turn your body to shreds. I'm playing Dead Space for Halloween.
All right, and that was song of the week.
Yeah, nice easy one, I think. With all the complaints Cameron gives me of picking music that isn't recent, I decided to do something a little bit easier. Does anyone in the chat know what it is? I'm hoping so. No clue. Okay, no clue. All right. Cool. Well, that's a good start. All right.
All right. So nobody knows my music.
Yep.
Oh, okay. Thank you, Martel. Yep.
Martel's got the band right. Okay, that's good. Good job.
What song?
Even I got it though. So
yeah, that's true. That's true. Kirby got it. So it must be like
that's embarrassing if you lot haven't got it.
I mean, it's like music after the year 2000.
Yeah, basically, which is a surprise for us. So I decided to, So Peony and Sunshine has pointed out that it's a song from 2006, which is 15 years ago, which is something I don't want to think about.
All my favorite bands were from around 2006, so it's fine.
Sure. Okay, so
people conceived to that song can nearly appear in adult videos.
That's incredibly worrying, actually. Now I feel massively uncomfortable. So it really is just like old times. So okay, Cameron? What's the song?
Teenagers by My Chemical Romance.
Fantastic, good job, you done it.
And if you complain like 30 times on every episode in a row, you too can get a song finally guessable on this podcast.
Yeah, that's your one. You're not going to get any more than that.
All right, we're going back to
next
Frank
week
Sinatra.
when we do the Bluey theme song again.
No, we're not doing Baby Shark. We're not doing any kids show stuff. If I can get Dora the Explorer in here.
I was about to start doing Dora.
Yeah, I know. All right, let's get through the housekeeping. Discord, the GPN Discord, discord.io/GPNGG. If you don't know what Discord is, it's basically a big chat room similar to the old IRC days where you can just hang out, talk about stuff. We've got a section there for our podcast where we talk about the show itself. We talk about our competitions. We've got a Patreon chat. And then obviously we've got stuff just for GPN in general. The website launched this week. So it's been very, very exciting. Got a lot of new content showing up on the YouTube and on the website. And a lot of that feeds through into the Discord. So if you missed anything, it's a good place to check it out. As I also mentioned, we have the Patreon, which is the Hall of Gamers Patreon. We get content like Lights, Camera, and Action, which is a podcast that Cameron and I do about video game movies. We just finished recording the second part of our Assassin's Creed. I'm not going to say it was like a roast, but we definitely had some harsh comments. So I'm going to be editing that. Comments. I had some harsh comments. Cameron was a bit more forgiving, but I'm going to be editing that this weekend, so that'll come out probably around the same time as this show does on the audio version. And we've also got our new Patreon draw. Cameron, do you want to explain how that works?
Yeah, so pretty much how we're going to run it is we're going to have one prize per month. So there'll be a poll on the Patreon roughly before the first show of every new month. So August for us, we decided that 3 games that we either have played or really like the look of were Nightbook, Death's Door, and the Forgotten City.
Forgotten City.
I was like, Forbidden, Forgotten. I'm just like, which?
The Sinking City by Frogware Interactive.
Oh God. Yes, that wonderful titles. Yeah, Forgotten City.
Yeah. So essentially, how we're going to run it is the community is going to pick what game that they want to be given away that month. So you may go, all right, I want Death's Door, but everybody else has voted for Nightbook for some strange reason. Because I think Death's Door is
terrible decision.
Death's Door is going to be the easy one of this month. But
yeah.
And then we also added in a little caveat as well that, you know, you might win and Death's Door, you might already own Death's Door. So instead of that, we'll give you a consolation prize of 1 month of Game Pass Ultimate instead.
Yeah. Otherwise, you know, we can try and work it out if you want to give it away to someone else or something. We'll work out the details if need be. But there's always that consolation prize just in case.
But that will run once a month. It will be the poll will go up at the either before or after the first episode of every month, and then the drawing will be on the last episode of that month.
Yeah. So we got that going for us. We're hoping you guys understand that we're making a few changes. Obviously, things are a little different now that we moved away from RGS. We're hosting a lot of the stuff ourselves. We're having to pay a few more licenses for pieces of technology. We're doing a lot more video stuff.
Cameron's making up so many graphics.
It's true, yeah, and we're doing a lot with equipment and stuff like that. So the costs have jumped up a fair amount. So we're trying to balance that with also making sure that our patrons we're giving back to the people who support us the most, that we really, really appreciate.
I've just realized now that it's all live and stuff, everyone is going to finally understand how little attention I paid during the bits where I wasn't talking.
Yeah, I mean, to be fair, mate, on RGS, it was very similar when you were talking. So yeah. I don't know if people are going to notice that much. We've also got our Twitch, which I hope you're watching on, but if you aren't, it's basically our new live streams that we're running. Cameron has done some amazing work in terms of getting new music and some new graphics, and he's been going fucking insane. It's crazy the amount of work he's put into it. So
I get the feeling every day this week I was just like messaging you, just like, oh, I've added this new thing, and I'm just thinking you must be getting to the stage of just like fuck off already.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, pretty. I mean, look, I mean that's kind of in general, but at least it's useful stuff this time.
Get stuffed.
But yeah, so if you haven't seen that stuff, you listen to the audio version of this, or you either check it out. We'll be putting them up on YouTube at some stage. We're still trying to work out how that's going to work. All of our episodes are going to be going up on the GPN YouTube page, along with all the other podcasts and video content that GPN are producing. And we're also hoping to have some of the guests from some of those podcasts on to promote their stuff, so you get an idea of what's happening over at GPN and how we're all supporting each other. It's going to get very incestuous. We've also got if you subscribe to us on there, we do get some money from that. We use that for equipment and things like that, so we really, really appreciate it. Cameron, you've also set up what did you end up deciding what it was going to be? Zinger Burgers?
No, I tried to set it up to do that, but then I found out it was going to cost us money, so I decided against it.
Fair, okay.
But essentially, one person basically said, hey, I don't want to be a subscriber. I don't want to jump on the Patreon. What if I just want to give you money? And I'm just like, all right, cool. We'll just set up a Ko-fi.
This is my personal PayPal account.
Yeah, exactly. Yes, untraceable $10 denominations, please.
Yep.
No, but it's pretty much, it's an option there if somebody wants to donate to us. pretty much everything that gets put into the show will go back to like getting us new equipment or prize giveaways, that kind of stuff, or just hosting costs. We
aren't retiring early on any of this stuff. Just so you guys know, all of this stuff goes straight back into the show and trying to make it better.
It goes on to black.
Yeah,
once a week we take whatever you.
Sorry.
That's not much.
That was when you were in charge of the
exactly.
RTS Patreon.
That's why sometimes we had really great prizes and sometimes we just didn't talk about them for a little while.
And sometimes the guests went like months without hearing word back, right, Kirby?
Look, it's not my fault that the prize winners don't have lives and I had a life and was doing things.
Yeah, we'll get into what you've been up to.
Wanting their winnings and complaining that I wasn't giving them what they deserve.
I know, unbelievable, Ryan. It wasn't like there was a recorded record of them winning or anything.
No, entitled.
But yeah, we'll get into you turning into a fucking normie in a minute here. But Cameron, what else have you been doing? You got anything brewing? Any plans coming up?
Do you want to talk about the word challenge quickly?
Yeah, sure. So we made a quick change to the word challenge. As you guys know, that basically is where I'll pick a game, I'll set up the bot to hide a GIF, and if you put the title of the game in the chat, it'll pop up the GIF and you win a prize. We were doing it basically by changing the amount of money you won each time, but most people are guessing it around the $20 mark. So we've decided to just cap it at $20, and we'll say, hey, if you get it in the first week or the fourth week, it's $20 either way, just so it's easier. And to make sure we're accountable, and also helps us with budgeting.
Yeah.
I'm going to pick a new game for next week, so I'll do the announcement for this month on the next episode. So look out for that. I'm going to try and pick a pretty tough one. I'm hoping Kirby would be proud of it because he has some real esoteric taste when he was doing it.
Oh man, some of those clues just
yeah.
Half the time I didn't know what the clue was going to be. Sometimes I picked a few clues, put them together, and then was like, all right, so what game does this actually make?
I swear half the time it was just like, all right, cool, we've got a podcast episode in like an hour. Kirby still hasn't responded to that message that we sent him at like 8 a.m. asking for the clue this week. What's something that I can pull out of my ass at the last minute? Like, Montana. Hannah Montana.
It's on the Xbox. Yeah.
And then I have to be like a controller.
Yeah, I hope it is. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, not a Kinect game. But so I'll come up with a new one for next week and let you guys know what the first clue is. As always, it'll be really, really hard to guess on the first time, but we'll make it slightly easier as it goes ahead. All right. Now that we've got all that bullshit out of the way, let's talk to the one and only ChinDocta. How you doing, Kirby?
I'm doing well. Yeah, it's look, it's been a long time since I've been on this thing, and you can tell by my inability to stay centered. You're really not giving me much real estate here, Cameron. Can you make yours smaller? Just have yours and give me your space.
Yeah, actually, yeah.
I'll make you as big as you want, buddy.
What we should have done is just turned our cameras off and just removed ours, but just had like a one thing with just the spotlight just being on Kirby. So
look at him go. I like to rotate, and I realize I'm rotating out of the shot, and I'm like, damn it.
Yep, exactly.
I'm so glad I can do this on the fly.
Yeah,
and you still got to try and go out of frame, even though I just gave you half the bloody screen.
What happened was is delayed. I'm like, oh, I've gone the wrong way. I need to go the other way. Okay. Yeah, no, I've been good. I took a break for a bit. For reasons that are definitely not in this room.
Yeah. Well, let's not get too far ahead of ourselves because we probably do have a few new people who don't even know who the fuck you are. So why don't you introduce yourself a little bit?
Honestly, that's probably for the best. No, I am ChinDocta. I am the rightful heir to the 2 times Hall of Fame in Australia for Gamerscore and most achievements. Yeah, I'm the rightful earner. Mm-hmm. I 5'11".
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Do you enjoy walks on the beach?
No, I hate sand in my toes. That's dumb question. Typical Cameron.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I'm glad that you had to specify toes, but that's fine.
Yeah, I don't know. I like roguelites. I don't play roguelites because I buy too much, and so I feel like I need to play everything else. But I do enjoy roguelites. Yeah.
And you also play a lot of trash.
Oh, I'm huge on the garbage. I was near and probably can still get back to number one on the Radlaika publisher board. Just I love garbage. I find a joy in garbage sometimes when just games are so bad they're good. Everyone should go out and play Toro. Buy and play Toro. It is a fantastic game. The best bullfighting game on the Xbox, bar none.
Yep, I mean that is definitely a true statement.
I like how most episodes you just plug in Toro.
It's a great game. If that game was in Game Pass, everyone would buy it.
Maybe we need to hook up with the studio and see if there's a CM position available.
Yeah, I was going to say you should at least be getting royalties or something. All right, so
I've annoyed lots of people when I hit 1 million gamer score.
Yeah, so what gamer score are you sitting at the moment, roughly?
Oh, 1,150,000 or thereabouts. I think probably might be a little bit under, but it's close enough to that it's not.
Yeah. So you're in the million club, which is good, just like last week's guest.
Yes.
How did you find that journey? Because when did you get into gamer score hunting?
I started really in August 2016 or 2015. I can't remember. Mm-hmm. When did I hit 1 million? Last year?
Yeah, last year.
Yeah.
Okay, then 2016 it would have been. I don't know what it was. I think, to be honest, I think I was watching a Brown Man stream, Ray Lamau, and was like, true achievements. Yeah, I'll have a look. I can go for some game score. Why not? And then 5 years later, and many long nights and awful games, I hit my 1 million gamer score. Yeah. It was harder back then, in 2021.
I mean, technically, yes. Yeah, it is. It has never been easier to be a millionaire.
No, it's ridiculous. If you frequent True Achievements, I was well known in the first Ultimate Head-to-Head competition that arose, and that's sort of where my push into the spotlight came, and I became someone that, like, I just wasn't. I was no longer just a random person on TA. I kind of established myself as one sort of a heavy hitter, I guess.
Sure, a Z-list celebrity, someone who was you gained some infamy.
Yeah, a recognizable name.
Sure.
And then just sort of went from there. Yeah.
Which is actually, funnily enough, how we met, because we ended up matching up in UHH. I think it would have been maybe the second one. Second or third,
the
maybe?
fourth.
The fourth? Jesus Christ.
Yeah, you came in real late. It was the fourth because, that was the sort of most recent one last year.
Was it?
Or the year before?
Oh, it was before that. I don't even remember. But anyway, we ended up matching up in UHH, and you fucking destroyed me. Because I thought I was doing quite well. I was having some good matchups, and then I match up with this ChinDocta guy. I'd never heard of him before, because I didn't really follow a lot of the TA stuff, and absolutely got smashed to bits. And then you were like, "Hey, you want to come join this achievement hunting community?"
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I also streamed that live, so everyone watched you get your ass kicked. just wanted to throw that out there.
Oh fuck! Well, I think hopefully the VOD's gone by now, because I don't need that. I don't need anyone to remember that. But yeah, I mean, and that's So then we were part of IGS and that sort of stuff, and now we're over here doing this. And
I think the funny thing is, I at the time, like, I didn't sort of realize where you were at on the leaderboards and stuff. Even after, I was just like, this is a guy who matched up with weird games, like really odd games that we had matched up, and I'm like, okay, maybe he's got similar taste, so or at least sort of tries everything, so he'd probably be a good fit. Little did I know, it was number one in New Zealand. You're number one in Oceania still?
Still at the moment, yeah. For now, we'll see how long that lasts.
Yeah,
Give him a little bit.
Yeah, it's fine. I might have to.
Screw it. I'm not editing any of the Twitch banners. That took too much work. I'm not doing it because you're a friend. It's just I'm lazy.
Yeah, fair. All right, whatever. All right, well that's good to know. I guess so. What have you been up to? Because you took a bit of a break from achievement hunting and just gaming in general, right? We kind of after you left IGS, you were here and there every now and then you kind of got a big job and became a total fucking normie, and we never heard from you ever again.
We all become Hall of Famers, and then you just like fuck off, like you're too good for us. What the fuck?
To be fair, Matt and I became Hall of Famers. and then some whining happened and other people joined the ranks and then I fell off the face of the earth.
Fair. So
hey, it's not my fault they didn't count 150 of my games the first time around.
I mean, to be fair, it was their fuck up, but yes, that is still very funny.
But no, I at the time I had a job processing and dealing with COVID samples, and you know what, that got busier.
Pretty busy, yeah, lots going on.
Kind of busy. So I continuously couldn't make it onto the podcast, and so I pulled out of that, and then just sort of discovered new people, got new hobbies like not gaming and going outside and stuff.
Couldn't be me.
Yeah.
Don't know that.
And then
don't want to.
Yeah, sort of just started studying again, went back to school, still going to school. But no, now I'm sort of, I wanted to say I'm easing my way back in. I think I've done in the last month like 40 or 50,000.
Yeah, that sounds about right. Yeah.
Yeah.
So
I'm easing like a truck through a hallway.
So you're back and you're playing games and playing a lot more trash and kind of get back into it. But from what you've been talking about on some of the Discords, you've been trying to find a bit more of a balance and trying to avoid that burnout.
Oh, 100%. The allure for a big gamer score is still there, but the enticement of being number one in that shiny spot, I'm so far behind that I know the push would be ridiculous and it not worth it. So I have been playing a few of the bigger games and trying to get stuff that's been on my tag for a while finished. And like I've had put off Far Cry 5. It was just the Vietnam DLC. I'd put off that for a really long time, finished that up, finished off Far Cry 4, went back and did Control. Like I'm playing through some of these longer stuff where before I think anything over 4 hours was too much for me.
Right.
Yeah.
So you're having a better time with it?
I am. The way I described it at the time, when I was pushing for Gamerscore and I was getting close to finishing something, I would get an itch in my legs to just that I wanted it done so I could move on to the next thing. And I'm not getting that anymore. That addiction withdrawal that of not having those achievements, I'm not getting that, and it's great. Like kudos to everyone still pushing for Gamerscore and going for big scores. That's, you do you. I like improving my score, but I enjoy playing games. I enjoy playing games. I certainly didn't in the last couple months of my push to 1 million.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Okay, no, that's yeah.
I think it makes a good discussion point then of just like, I think it's always a case of us whether what comes first, the gaming or the achievements, because we're getting such a dopamine rush.
Starts with the games, becomes the achievements, and then you try to find the balance of what drives you to play video games, right?
Yeah.
Because we've talked about it in the past of like, okay, well, games on other platforms that don't have achievements, like it's hard to be like, maybe I should spend some time playing something on the Switch or the PlayStation. And I'm like, I could do, but I have 300 games that I need to finish at some stage. So where am I going to find the time? Why would I do that? And also something's leaving Game Pass this month, and this or the server's being shut down, or suddenly there's competition here or there, and it can get a bit overwhelming.
Be interesting if Valakking a game actually becomes more of a negative thing for people.
Yeah, very true.
Sorry, Valak.
Yeah.
But yeah, Martel makes a good point. It's nice altering score whoring and other goals like a series completion, game completion, or just straight up playing a game because you enjoy it.
Yeah.
I definitely agree with the series completion with me at the moment because it's just like Halo MCC. I'm like 5-6 achievements left, and it's such a satisfying feeling knocking every achievement off the list. But at the end of the day, I know that's because it's such a momentous goal.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, exactly. All right. Well,
I was going to say, do we quickly want to touch on the 1,000,001?
Oh, yeah. Kirby, you want to tell us about your fucking troll that you did for that?
Right. Oh, and it nearly went bad. So I remember last week on the bit that I sat in on in the chat during my work break, Games of Dane. Yep. Thank you. Mentioned that he had set up getting to 1 million and was looking and then hit his achievement for it and was 10 over. Just ruined it completely. Had the same issue. I think I had Gamerscore missing, I want to say.
Yeah, I remember.
And what my Xbox account was showing and what the numbers, like the raw numbers on TA were showing, were different by 10.
Mm-hmm.
And I was like, I don't know what's missed. I hope it comes back because it's going to ruin everything if it doesn't. It did, thank God. But I set up and preloaded the achievement in Avicii, whatever, play the song Infector. That's it. 1 million for getting 1 million points in whatever. So I set that up so that I would get that achievement and then I would cross the threshold for my 1 million game score. To really annoy a good friend of mine, Professor Pluto, Alex, who is adamant that those big milestones, 100,000, 200, etc., if they're not on the dot, they don't count. To really annoy him, I got to where I needed that last achievement. It was going to be, it's called 1 million. It's for 1 million gamer score to hit that milestone. And then I just before I got it, I got a 1 gamer score achievement. Yeah. And then got everyone in a party, all you two and Spaceman and Alex, and got everyone in so that we could all celebrate the moment together, cross that threshold. It's like, yeah, took a screenshot, sent it in. Alex was like, yeah. I'm like, he hasn't noticed, hasn't seen it. He's celebrating, but he doesn't realize, oh my God, all that setup wasted. Oh no. I'm like, Alex, are you missing something? He's like, what? I'm like, look at the score, Alex. He's like, oh, it's fine. You deliberately did it. I'll let it pass. I'm like, no, you ruined it. No, but look, I got my 1 million. It was within 5 years of me starting achievement hunting properly. So that was
isn't incredible. Like that's crazy.
And that was the push at the end, was really to try and sort of hit that milestone in that 5 years. Like I know, I can't remember who it is, did it in like 12 days or whatever, but the Chinese gamer.
Yeah, what was it, Cameron? What was his name? The one who did the like crazy one.
GIEXE. I can't pronounce it.
Yeah, who did it in a week and a half or
which is
some
insane.
Stupid. Yeah. No, but it's look, and I can say I enjoyed the majority of the games on my tag.
Yeah. To some extent, right?
Yeah.
Which is, I think that's probably the way to go about it.
Especially Toro.
Yeah, especially Toro.
Yeah. Everyone go out and buy Toro.
Yeah.
Your kids will like Toro. Your grandparents will like Toro.
Your 2-year-old will like Toro.
Only if it's your kid.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
All right. Well, let's maybe get into the news.
Oh, good. This is the bit where I whip out my phone.
Yeah. Just kick your feet up.
Yeah.
Unless Cameron, do you want to go quickly to BRB and just sort that issue?
Yep. Yeah, let's do that. We
Cool.
will be right back shortly.
Yeah, we got a technical thing we just got to quickly take care of. So we'll be back in just
The technical thing.
No, well,
surprisingly not
Yes.
you.
Yes and no. But no, we'll be back in 2 minutes, guys. We've got to fix something up quickly. Yeah, we're running a little bit of an issue here.
All right, cool. Thanks, guys. All right, sweet. We are back.
Cool. Yep, we're back. Fantastic. I'll try and fix that in post.
Astos, the technical issue is not my mouth, you little.
You're allowed to swear. You can call him a cunt.
No, I'm just gonna call Matt out on this. Somebody.
This is totally not my fault. Totally not my fault. I was
Blame the
Kirby
new
behind.
guy. Yeah.
This is entirely Kirby's fault for being the guest this week.
No, we had a recording issue. We basically didn't get set up in time. I was busy trying to sort shit out and didn't get the recording done properly. But that's fine. I'll let all this out.
Yeah.
Anyway, let's get into the news.
Cool. All right.
What have you got for us this week, Cameron?
All right. The Extent. Has anybody Steven has told me that this is his game of the year.
Yeah, so I've been hearing very mixed things about it in terms of technical stuff, but in terms of the game itself, people are really enjoying it.
I'll talk about my experiences with the game later on, but pretty much Curve Digital have announced that the game has already racked up 5 million in sales.
Which is crazy.
Yeah.
Considering it's on Game Pass, right? So I guess people are interested in it. And look, I was reading through the article about this. Apparently, that with the amount of groundswell they've got in terms of supporting from streamers and YouTubers and stuff like that,
1,700 YouTube and Twitch channels sharing content.
I mean, it helps that it's a very interesting looking game, and they kind of it's got some good mass appeal, and Game Pass promoted it quite heavily. But apparently, it puts it in the top 10 of PR launches for this year. And that goes up against AAA stuff as well. So it's pretty insane. I mean, again, it is still early gaming season, but I'm glad that it's going well for them. I'm holding judgment a little bit until we get a few patches, because I've been hearing a lot of technical issues around the co-op stuff, which is apparently the way that game is really meant to be played.
But I think this really paints into perspective of Game Pass boost sales, not cuts into the bottom line.
Yeah, exactly, right. It's a really positive story for Game Pass, which we've seen before with things like Descenders and stuff like that.
Yeah,
where they've talked about, hey, yeah, absolutely. Even though we're basically giving the game away for quote unquote free, it's actually boosting sales. People are interested in. People are like, oh, actually, I want to keep this, or I'm worried about it leaving, or I want to support this. But I mean, having co-op games in Game Pass is pretty much the perfect use case, right? Because you can play it and you don't have to convince 3 of your mates to go out and buy it, which we're all very familiar with.
I don't convince any of my friends to buy it. They just own it.
Yeah, true.
Oh,
they just get it.
It just shows up. Yeah. It's for some reason Kingdom Hearts showed up for me, and that's not a co-op game.
Sorry, give me 2 seconds.
You having some issues?
It's done the minimized video again.
Oh, okay. Hang on.
I'm just swapping back in between screens.
All good.
Can they hear me, or am I just doing this for fun?
Yeah, everybody can hear you. It's just
they just can't see us.
Just making sure I wasn't being a dickhead for you two.
I mean,
I don't need to be. I need to be a dickhead for the world.
Absolutely. Kirby's face is too much to handle, says Kiani. That's
often
I can
the
do
case.
I can do the small person view, because that is coming in for whatever reason. Sorry, let me just... Don't you love technical issues?
And then you get closer again.
Oh, no. Oh, no.
All right, we're going small person view.
God damn it. All right. Go. Hey, whatever works.
Give me 2 seconds.
As long as I'm bigger than you two still. Make it so, Cameron.
Why is it doing this? All
This is what happens when we get... Kirby starts messing around with the stream.
Yep.
Sorry, guys. I don't know why it's done it.
Here again. Oh my god.
That should work. Is everybody happy with that? That's quick fix.
Okay. All right. We'll keep it rolling.
I don't. I hate the delay. I can't tell where I am. And then I overcorrect because I go the other way.
All right. Now the question is it going to? Oh, it's doing the goddamn thing again. All right. All right. Cool. Keep going on. Sorry.
Oh, I
need to use my phone again because I'm got the old camera view.
Okay. I'm gonna just keep trucking on then.
Yeah.
So we've also had some other success stories. There's been a lot about the news in terms of sales and stuff. Apparently, the Xbox is doing quite well. Who would have fucking thought?
Really?
So yeah, they apparently plays
Sony fans.
Wow. Yeah. So
when you sell two different consoles, it doesn't. Of course, you're going to sell twice as many consoles.
Yep. This is true. I mean, even with the supply issues, apparently Xbox has announced that have had over 15 billion in revenue, and that from the 6.5 million Xbox Series consoles sold. And also, the Game Pass application have a huge share of increase in those sales. Yeah. It's the best year that Xbox has ever had, which is crazy considering the shortages of people trying to get the consoles.
Yeah, that's
should be said about all console manufacturers at the moment, though. Oh well.
Yeah, absolutely right. It's happening to everyone. I saw that Sony also put out some numbers with where they're doing incredibly well also. Yeah. So it doesn't. It seems like the whole rising tide, lifts all boats kind of thing. It's like, okay, well, things are going well for them, and the fact that they had over 300 games in Game Pass probably doesn't hurt.
And most of them are good. I said this in a Discord I was in. A lot of the most of the games in Game Pass aren't standout 8 out of 10, 9 out of 10, but 99% of them are good, solid.
Yeah, they're the kind of stuff that you probably would have bought when they were on sale anyway, right? It's the kind of stuff that we tend to just collect and be like, oh yeah, I'll play through that at some stage.
Well, it's good, particularly for us.
6.5 to 7.5 out of 10.
Yeah,
and they cover all your niches, and they just like it's. You're not gonna like every TV show on Netflix. Doesn't mean every game in Game Pass needs to be for you.
Yeah. Exactly.
The other added benefits is you don't need to rely on reviews anymore. If you want to play a game, you can just download it and try it. Because 9 times out of 10, people aren't going to be worried about popping an achievement on their tag.
No, true. It makes the barrier to entry very, very low, which I'm really happy about. And like I play a lot of stuff on Game Pass that now that I'm not buying games or trying not to buy games, it's been a really good avenue for me to not get burnt out on cleanup and let me have some new experiences, like one of which that I'll talk about later in the show. But again, there's not much else to say there. It just seems like it's doing quite well for them, which is sort of surprising. I mean, they're definitely behind PlayStation in terms of sales. I think the PS5 was selling like 10 million so far, and it's the fastest selling thing they've ever had as well. So it's going well for everyone. I'm glad,
I love how all the comments for that were just like, where are people buying these consoles from? We can't find any.
I mean, I think 90% of those are scalpers buying them so they can set up, secret Ukrainian warehouses for was it farming FIFA 14 bullshit?
Yeah.
Did you guys ever talk about the fact that scalpers were buying Big W stocks before they went on sale?
Yeah, I mentioned that.
That's good. So crazy. Like
they managed to backdoor it.
Yeah. Imagine how much good they could do in the world.
right, exactly. Yeah. I mean, we're ones to talk, but yes, exactly right. People want to play these consoles. I get it. I mean, I still don't feel like we live in a world where you need to have the next gen console, which is a bit of a weird thing to be saying almost a year in, right? Like there isn't that, like they're nice to have, and I'm glad that I have a Series X, but I could have, if I hadn't won one in the Hall of Fame stuff, I probably would have been pretty happy just running on my One X for the next sort of year or so.
See, I was quite happy when all my friends chipped in to get one, and then I ended up winning one anyway.
Yeah, true. Yeah, so you have one on each shoulder like you're fucking Phil Spencer
Wish I
times
could
two.
have complained for a new console.
Yeah, I know, right? So it's amazing what bitching and moaning on the internet can get done for you.
Leave me alone.
We did a really nice thing for Cameron, and he's like, not good enough.
Get stopped. No, I
want it back.
No. I told you how many times. So this whole conversation was just like, no, you don't have to do that. No, you don't have to do that. And that went on for like, 2 days? Of me going like, kicking and screaming, no, you're not doing that for me. Like, it's too kind. And then you went behind my back and then messaged Nikita, just saying like, Cameron's not going to pony up. Can you just... And then what was the complaint? Just like, all right, she's just making conversation, not giving you the account.
She's not giving me your bank details. She's just having a conversation with me, Cameron. I just needed her to give me... I can talk to her about normal things another time. I need to...
Show me the money. Yeah, exactly.
But it was so good when I actually got the Series S as well, and then decided to make my big Oreo.
Yes. Yeah.
That was the only reason.
Oh my god. Well, since you've got a Series S, did you go into that Kickstarter? For the portable screen?
Personally, I don't see it worth it. I mean, like...
Is that because you're in lockdown and you don't go anywhere?
I mean, like, back in... Like,
genuine, not trying to be...
Genuine answer to this, the only use I would have had to it is taking it to my parents' place. But then I've got like a small little
second Xbox Series X. You can just take that place.
He's got his travel one. Here's one I prepared earlier.
I have a travel TV that I take with me. That I had that I got like 10 years ago that I was using. But even then, it's like such a small screen. You still need a power outlet for it. I just don't see the benefit. Yeah,
it's not. I mean, it's not quite the amazing.
Yeah,
like
it's not for me. Is sure. pretty much the easiest way to put that. But saying that, like, I filled the Series S with I think like 100 games, like small 1 gigas like Undermine, Moonlighter, a lot of roguelites in the like 1 gig territory. But just filled my console
in the 1 gig $30 territory.
Yeah. For every gig, we're gonna charge you $30 if you're an indie.
And look, I haven't been out. I don't know if I can do it. But if console streaming works well enough, you don't need to have the console there because you're already accessing your console. Like I imagine that's what you were doing.
The only Matt. I was gonna say quickly, the only problem with that is like in regional areas, it's still absolutely trash.
Yeah. Well, I mean, like we don't have cloud gaming in New Zealand yet, but yes, that's what I've been doing while I was away. So that's why I haven't played much this week. Was I was down in Wellington for work, and so I was stream down to my stream from my home Xbox to my phone or whatever or my PC, which is basically the best way to get around it. Because I got a device that can run it, and eventually they're talking about having TVs that do it built in, and then they'll release dongles that you can just plug into an existing TV, so you don't have to go and buy a new one that'll do it. Like they're trying to get Xbox streaming on everything, which makes perfect sense for their strategy.
Yeah, 100%.
All right, and then Cameron, you had this big thing about what's happening in Game Pass recently, right?
Yeah. Did you want to go into the Mass Effect one or?
Yeah. Well, I'll just touch on it quickly. So basically, the Mass Effect's Legacy Edition sold even better than EA was expecting, which just proves to me that EA doesn't have a fucking clue what is going on. Because clearly that wasn't going to do well because BioWare haven't, the original Mass Effect trilogy is great. I mean, 3 is kind of but like 1 and 2 are solid games. Andromeda was a nightmare people pretend didn't happen. And we haven't had a new Mass Effect or a new Dragon Age in forever. So it made perfect sense that this was the thing that... I'm surprised it took them this long to come out, basically. but they're saying that it's reignited the passion of the fans, and that they're probably, to get.
I'm sorry, reignited.
Yeah, right. Exactly.
Where did it go?
It didn't go anywhere. Like N7 Day rolls around every fucking November, and people go nuts, and you see all the cosplayers, and people still love Mass Effect. I don't understand why.
It's the term of like them just trying to snuff out a few studios, try and sweep things under the rug, go to mobile, support their FIFA Ultimate teams and their Madden cards and their
exactly, like just trying to
single player. We can't make money off single player.
Yeah, let's get some loot boxes in there.
We hit them once, and then just where do we hit them again?
Exactly. So what do you mean they don't give us more money? And like, there's another article we didn't put in here, but there was a thing about one of their guys complaining that that EA gets one of the EA guys was complaining that EA gets a bad rap when it comes to studio acquisitions.
Yes.
And I was okay, maybe the byline of the article was maybe you should talk to Free Radical, Westwood, Bullfrog, and like Pandemic or whatever.
No.
What about that?
To be completely fair on EA, it's not the acquisition that's the issue.
Mm-hmm.
Them getting the studio, that's fine. It's what they then do with it and later murder it. That's the issue.
Visceral's the other one, exactly right.
Yeah.
Now they got a new Dead Space coming out with Visceral, and they're like, oh well, we killed Visceral, so I guess what are we gonna do?
I saw a really good tweet about that. It was like, Dead Space remastered with content you got cut from the original game or something like that.
Yeah. And
someone had responded, what, like the original dev team?
Yeah, exactly. They're bringing them back from the dead. Exactly. Says Necromorph Studios. Yeah, but there isn't much to say there other than the EA is as clueless as ever. Water is wet, like pretty much to be expected. Mm-hmm. But Cameron, you want to quickly run through some of this Game Pass stuff that you found?
Yeah, so I saw an article about a few weeks ago, and I've been trying to find the best opportunity for it. Just what the best games from Kotaku's perspective were on Game Pass.
Mm-hmm.
And some of them, like, it's a pretty good list. I just wanted to basically go through it, see if we agree, and then probably just add our top 3 picks.
Sure, absolutely. This makes some great clippable content for the social team. Go through it.
All right, so Control.
To quickly look up what's in Game Pass.
The articles in the Discord.
Yeah. So
Control is a fantastic get. I know that Charlotte was playing through it. She was having a really good time with it. It's just fantastic. So, 100%. That should absolutely be on the list.
Remedy are really good at creating really engaging worlds.
That game, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Sorry, not Control. Different game. That game's in Game Pass. Yep, that's my winner. That too. Oh.
Right, these are going to be like really quick
done.
ones.
Good.
Yeah.
Desperados 3.
It's a fine game. I don't think it's amazing, but it's fine.
I played like
through it.
half an hour of it. I thought it was okay, but it's not.
I did it on PC. It's a sort of that strategic style, similar to the Shadow. Was it Shadow Shogun or something or other? Where it's fine. It's a good game.
Dead Cells.
Fantastic!
Amazing.
Oh my
game.
god,
Yeah.
Great game. I'll be
Top
back
tier.
in a second.
Top tier. Dead Cells is an amazing game. Also, way too fucking hard. And like if you're in it for the roguelike gameplay, you and the sort of Metroidvania side-scrolling like hardcore stuff, it doesn't get much better than Dead Cells.
Yeah. Deep Rock Galactic, which I don't think any of
Galactic,
sorry.
Yeah.
not Galantis, the EDM band.
Anyway, I haven't done Darude Sandstorm for Song of the Week yet.
We did talk about that though.
We have talked about it.
You would just have to cut the achievement noise short and then just.
Exactly.
Okay. I'm putting that out to GPN. Somebody needs to do a version of Darude Sandstorm just using achievement sounds.
That sounds horrific. I can't wait to hear it. And Deep Rock Galactic, I've heard nothing but good things. People love the sort of Left 4 Dead formula. Every game's a 4-player PvE shooter nowadays, apparently. But this is one of the older ones that people have been really, really digging. I see there's a big subreddit community for this as well. A lot of memes that I do not understand.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. I can't remember if I dived it for Game Pass or not, but Slay the Spire, one I definitely do remember. That is
fantastic.
That is a really good game.
Yeah, I'm not going to play it, but it's good.
Yeah, it's a long game, but it's a good game. A Plague Tale.
Plague Tale is probably my favorite. Like, yeah, I would if I was going to pick anything on this list, I think Plague Tale is probably the one. I've ranted and raved about it. Again, it's another one that I recommended to Charlotte when she was first getting into Game Pass. I think she's enjoying it. But anyone who hasn't played it needs to go and play it.
I'm really surprised that Microsoft haven't picked up Ahsoka yet.
Yeah, I'm wondering if there's some things in there because that was one of our predictions, right?
Yeah,
they're too French.
Maybe potentially. Yeah, that's it's always the risk.
Is that ChinDocta IP that's holding them back? I don't know.
Yeah, that must be it. That must be the thing.
Hollow Knight, one of quite possibly the best Australian-made video game.
And yeah, basically
Very
one of the best Metroidvania games ever made, according to a lot of people. I know the AHA guys will be hooting and hollering about it. They love that game. It is pretty punishing. There's not a lot of leniency in that game. There's a lot of get good. It's based, but it has that sort of Ori and the Will of the Wisps whimsy mixed with Dark Souls. So if that appeals to you, which it kind of does to me, but also now that I play so many games and stuff, I kind of don't really like getting punched in the face every time I play something. Whereas, maybe 5 years ago, I probably would have.
Narita Boy.
I have no idea what this is.
That's the
Mega Man?
It's like a how do I describe it? It's a love letter to. I'll read their description. It's a love letter to the 1980s, the neon, the synth pop, the references to arcade games, and even the bad hairdos. By and large, it's a slick, mechanically uninspired action platformer. Jump, dodge, swing, sword, shoot, gun. But you're hard pressed to find one more visual flair. It is a very pretty game.
It looks really, really nice. It's got that kind of that synth style that I just love.
I played like an hour of it. I had no idea what was going on, but I'm just like, this is very visually engaging. I need to go back to it at one point because it does seem like I think it's meant to be like a 5-ish hour completion off the top of my head, but I may be confusing with something else.
I might have a look.
Yeah.
I thought it was a short skill-based completion.
Yeah.
Right. Okay. Yeah. So that rules me out then, pretty much.
Undermine's on this list, but that has since left Game Pass, and that is one of the best games I've ever played in Game Pass.
Oh, they'll update the article. They have updated it a few times to get when those things rotate out.
Yeah, makes sense because it's good for their SEO.
Very good game.
I heard nothing but good things, but unfortunately the roguelike element just really dissuades me from wanting to play through it. I much prefer keeping my progress when I die.
Actually, shout out to Brad too for completing it.
Yeah, he did a really good job. Brad has been known to old mate clown. Speaking of not recording, he doesn't get
clap, Brad.
there are certain when he gets into games, he gets into games.
Yeah.
So whenever I'm looking at a list, I basically have to ignore whether he's completed it or not because he's too fucking good at the games he gets really into.
In the last week or two, he's done Undermine, Going Under, and I think maybe Death's Door. He's been playing it. I don't know if he's completed it. Which
what? Oh, Death's Door.
Yeah,
Death's Door. Yeah.
What were you thinking, buddy?
Death Stall is what I heard.
Oh, Death's Door. So it's a fruit market game. We have to learn sign language.
Yep.
It's my game jam.
Oh, buddy. Immediately take me to the Fruit Ninja memes.
Yes.
Yeah, because, exactly. Oh my god, we can't shoot a watermelon. That destroys the image. Anyway. The Wild Heart. This is another, beautiful... it's Pikmin. It's Pikmin as an indie. It's very beautiful. I need to go back to it. There's so many good games lately that I've gone 3/4 of the way through and then I've just moved on. I need to finish them.
This is one that I'm really interested in. It seems like kind of chill vibes, nothing too crazy. The exact kind of game that I like to play right now.
Very puzzle based like Pikmin.
Perfect. Yeah, it's on my list for sure.
Haven. Did you play
I started this. Look, I heard fantastic things, and who developed? Or
it was I can't remember.
I saw some interesting stuff about this, and it was one of those things that's on my list. I like how it says good match for saps, bad match for cynics, because it's all about it's kind of like a survival game, but it's more of a story based.
It's weird because I really like the story element of it. and I'm wondering if this would have been better for me as a visual novel, as opposed to
Right, yeah, that's kind of what I heard. Right, is that the narrative is interesting, but the gameplay itself is not.
the gameplay is very repetitive.
Right.
But I mean, like, for the story alone, from what I played of it, it's pretty good. Hellblade.
Yeah, Hellblade is a solid game, but I'm not a massive fan of it. I think it's fine. Yeah. I think it's like there's nothing wrong with it, but it didn't grab me the way that people really got into it. To me, it's like 7-8 territory. Like, I liked it for what it is, and it's another game I need to go back to and play. But I'm pretty sure I got like halfway, and I was like, all right, this is a good experience, but I wasn't heavily invested in it. Yeah. I mean, I've played through it twice. I've done the stack. I've double dipped it.
You're completed it too, Kirby?
No, I've dived. I think I've dived on both platforms, but it was, one of those ones where I'm like, I know it's relatively simple. I can go back to it whenever and clean it up, and then just never did, as happens.
Yeah, there's only so much time.
Yeah, but again, heard good things. It's probably good enough. I just haven't gone back to it.
Yeah. Celeste.
Ooh, Celeste. Yeah, Celeste is a really good game, but it's also really fucking hard.
That doesn't have
assist
to be.
mode.
Doesn't have to be. Yes.
Not even just assist mode, Cameron. Assist mode, and then you do level select, activate chapter select, and then just skip to the final section of each stage, and finish the level in 2 minutes, half a minute.
Yeah, but you still gotta get collectibles in that.
I didn't know that. So
but you can just chapter select right to the collectible. You don't have to. It's much easier.
Yeah, so I didn't realize that either. So I enjoyed my experience playing through the whole game, and it's a nice narrative. Playing it on assist mode just to kind of breeze through it and have a good time. Achievement wise, it's good too. I highly recommend it. Like it's an 8 or a 9 for me for sure.
Great games with assist modes coming to Game Pass is what I'm all about. Psychonauts 2 will be very good.
Yeah,
when we get to that. Spiritfarer.
I have not played it yet, but it is like it wasn't quite what I was expecting. Like it was a lot more managey than narrative than I was expecting. Yeah. So yeah.
But again, that was one that had like a 30-second trailer at VE3.
Yeah, like and everyone was like, "Whoa, what's that?"
Yeah.
Yeah, I talked to the CM when I did what was the Canadian conference that I was attending, because I had to wake up like 4 a.m. and he was there.
Games, eh?
Game. Somebody clip that, please. Great. Nier Automata.
Yeah, Nier Automata. Yeah,
Nier Automata. Yeah.
Nier Automata.
Probably one of my greatest games of all time. It's near perfect to me. Yeah. I know that people have issues with it, but it is just
And same thing. It has an assist mode if you want it. It's there. It's got an assist mode for the achievements as well, essentially, because you can just use the in-game currency to buy them if you you don't want to explore the world to that extent. So it's not a completion that should scare you.
Yeah. You do have to play like a fair amount. Like time-wise, it's a bit of an investment, but not nearly as much as you would expect.
Yeah.
And
you do replay the story, but you learn you're learning more about the world and some of those hacking
parts are just so good.
Yeah, it's like okay.
I'm really hoping that that the remake of the original Nier comes to Game Pass soon, because I definitely want to get back to that as well.
$10 to anyone who can name it in the chat in the next minute. The full name.
the full name. Oh,
God. Okay. All right, he's paying for that, not us.
Yeah, definitely not.
It's coming out of the money that he owes his former listeners.
No, it's not Vegas 2, Xenimus. Wrong.
Reminds me of
Come on, he just gave you a chance to win $10.
Right. It reminds me of a time on the RGS podcast where Kirby made a joke and said no one would hear it, and I did hear it, and I won $10.
Yeah. It's a joke about my dick.
It was a joke about your dick. Yes.
All right, moving along swiftly along from this conversation. Outer Worlds. I'm pretty much the only one here that's played that.
Yeah, no, it's been on my list for like, hey, you know, it's a cool game. I'm waiting for the DLC to go on sale or a complete edition, but yeah, it's kind of like the sort of New Vegas style Obsidian.
Typical, Obsidian vibes. It's a great game. There's so many on this list that I need to go back to, but I like to try out games, get a feel for them, and then I just need to sit down and suss it out completely.
Yeah, absolutely.
And the last one on this list, Yakuza 0.
Yeah, or the entire Yakuza series, really. I don't think I'll ever play any of them, but I love hearing about them, and I really enjoy playing them vicariously through Cameron as he experiences the bullshit.
Yeah. I haven't played them in a few weeks now. It's so good. There's so much to do, though.
They have mentioned in the article that they've targeted it towards games you may not have played.
Yeah.
As opposed to, because, you know, otherwise you just go, okay, Halo Master Chief Collection, Gears, for like...
Flight Sim,
Doom Eternal, exactly right. Just the standards.
So that's why you might be thinking, well, why aren't like those keystone titles on there in this list? But it's because you already know they're good. These are good ones that you may not know.
100%.
Yeah, so especially for a lot of our listeners who are just sort of getting into the Game Pass stuff, this is like a fantastic resource to jump in and give these things a try. And, you know, our Discord stuff's always open if you want to talk about games on Game Pass and stuff like that, because we have played a lot of them. Yeah. And you know, as we've discussed on the show before, we are very fucking opinionated. So we love talking about ourselves and our experiences.
I played most of them before they got on Game Pass.
That's true. True. You would just buy them because you're a fucking madman.
So do we want to quickly touch base on like 3 amazing games that were played in Game Pass?
I mean, I would have if you had warned me beforehand, so I could have.
I told you.
I told you. See, that's why I said, because I remembered vaguely that was.
All right, I'm going first, and you have like a few minutes to decide your list. Cool. All right, so going under recent edition as of probably like 6 to 8 weeks ago.
Yeah.
Basically reflects you being in an unpaid internship, dungeon crawler, roguelite. Fucking amazing. Like really, really funny game. Really cutesy kind of art style. And just has that kind of hook that Undermine had. But it's a lot shorter experience. So that's one to definitely check out. Final Fantasy X2, just for the nostalgia.
Yeah, 100%.
Matt can easily say to that of like how many hours you put in.
Yeah, I put 110 hours into Final Fantasy X in the first 2 weeks that it came out. I did not sleep much that week.
Which is crazy. Because when was the last time a game captured you like that?
Like never, almost never.
Final Fantasy X when it came out.
Exactly. I was gonna say.
I mean, like, has there been anything in the last few years that you've just sat there and done? Because Kingdom Hearts was the same for me.
Actually, yeah, Kingdom Hearts was like going through Kingdom Hearts 1 and 2 again was similar, and like it's the same feeling.
Is it purely just that nostalgic aspect of it? Or
I think part of it is it's nostalgia, but also like it was a time in video games where it was kind of a golden age where we didn't have a lot of that online bullshit. There wasn't microtransactions. Like the games were just the games, and they had a lot of the holdovers, but also they weren't like massive bloated projects. I mean, you know, they were big. This was the first Final Fantasy that had voice acting, right?
Yeah.
But yeah, exactly. But it wasn't like the whole. Remember how long it took Final Fantasy 13 and then 15 to come out, right? Yeah. Where it was like they became these massive monstrosities and disappointed everyone. Where like 10 and then like 12 onwards were just like fantastic. Like 10 is my all-time favorite game. So yeah.
And my last one on the list is Gesture Grace, because I can't think of the last time a story captured me like from something so simplistic in its design. It has an amazing narrative.
Yeah,
and
I would totally agree.
Like the twists in that game, just I don't know, they felt like emotional punches, which you don't experience often. Don't have that kind of attachment. Who wants to go next?
The Ori titles, both of them combined into one option.
Sure. Yep.
So Will of the Wisps and The Blind Forest. They are. Ori and the Blind Forest was one of the first games where I paid attention to the story after turning to achievements.
Be interesting what Moon Studios does next.
Yeah.
Whether they stick with Ori or if they go totally different direction.
The story's done. I want them to go to something different.
Yeah, I hope so too. Yeah.
Enter the Gungeon.
Yep, great one.
Fantastic roguelike. Really, really, really good. Again, there are tricks that make it a much easier completion than the ratio indicates. It's a fantastic game, and I'm just trying to find a third one. I'm scrolling through. Rush, a Disney Pixar adventure.
Another one from Asobo.
Right.
So, yeah, I mean, come on, Microsoft, pick them up.
Definitely not Sunset Overdrive.
No
Get
way.
stuffed.
Garbage game, garbage people.
For my 3, I'm gonna say Prey.
Yep.
I think Prey is one of those games that a lot of people were like, "Oh, that's cool, I'm gonna play that," and never did. It's in Game Pass. Do it. It's such like if you like BioShock, it's BioShock in space, which I know is just System Shock, but it has all of that refinement in it, and I really, really enjoyed it. I'm thinking about redoing the PC version again.
Nice.
I mean, we've already talked about Plague Tale. That would probably be one of my picks. I had one that
you can pick the sequel because it's going to be in Game Pass too.
Sure. Donut County. Donut County is one that everyone who has Game Pass should play. It's just a hilarious short experience. Perfect Game Pass game. Really good sense of humor. There's a duck button. You can just keep fucking hitting duck emotes.
Just sitting there for like 3 minutes. Duck. Yeah.
Exactly.
I think it was the first game I recommended as being part of GPN. Just like,
yeah,
for an achievement hunter. It's pretty good.
Yeah, it's a good game for I think everyone would enjoy that game. And then one personal one for me, Alien Isolation.
Yeah.
I'm a big Alien fan. I love the series, and Alien Isolation is basically the perfect Alien stealth game. They basically nailed it with that game, which is sad they didn't do a sequel, but I kind of get it. How do you improve on that? I mean, it does drag on a little bit, but just I played through it again on the PC for the achievements, and I had just as good a time as I did the first time. So I recommend all 3 of those for sure.
Well, that's good. It looks like Kirby has given himself $10.
No, they had a minute so that they couldn't Google it.
Yeah, fair.
Yeah.
All right.
I'm going to quickly just touch base as to what's being added to Game Pass.
Sure.
So, Curse of the Dead Gods, which is essentially the game I was waiting on to hit Game Pass for Hades, is coming out a week before Hades, which is great.
Yeah.
Windows 10 and Xbox.
Not sure, but is it playing anyway?
I'm telling you, I'm not asking
cool.
you.
Yeah. Okay, cool. Dodgeball Academia, August 5th. Katamari.
Which is on Windows 10 and allows mods, so methinks that might be the next one.
I saw that one and I immediately thought of the what was that Blowfish Studios game that they were showing off at PAX when we were there?
The spooky one?
No, there was a dodgeball game. And I don't know if it was Blowfish or if it was a studio that was adjacent to them.
I'm not sure. The only I remember Stickbold because I still have to go back and finish that.
Yeah.
The Swedish one.
No, I'm probably going to butcher this. No, did I say Katamari?
No, you didn't.
Okay,
Katamari, I'm so excited for
Katamari Damacy Reroll, August 5th.
Both stacks, Windows 10 and Xbox.
Oh.
Is it?
Yes.
Is it Lumens?
Lumines.
Remastered, August 5th.
Yeah, fuck that.
Skate Free, Starmancer, all hitting August 5th. Dirt 4, Dirt Rally 2.0, F1 2020 Grid, all hitting August 10th to EA Play. And apparently Dirt 5 is leaving Game Pass, but hitting EA Play.
Huh, okay. Well, I guess
I saw some comment on Twitter about it. I'm not 100% sure, but
I guess that makes sense because they're owned by Codemasters are owned by EA now. So
yes.
So I'm guessing if that's the case, then it will only be available for Ultimate.
Yeah.
Rather than
so EA will be putting it on their service, which makes sense.
Which is just dirt's dirt, yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it is
cool. Art of Rally, which I think looks amazing, like watercolor racing. August 13th. Microsoft Solitaire Collection Premium Edition. Everybody grew up and loved. August 17th.
Did we all grow up and love the Premium Edition?
I mean, if you had an XP computer.
Yeah, sure.
Look, I had
version
dial
without
up.
ads,
I had dial
that's
up
what you
until like
liked?
the age of 17. So what do you expect from me? I had to get my gaming wherever I could. Yeah.
Yeah. So you didn't just play pinball like the rest of us?
Like the rest of us, exactly. Yeah, I was just going to say Space Cadet
Pinball, cool
Pinball,
math games.
Number Munches. Yeah.
Anyway, 12 minutes, 19th.
Yes, I'm so excited for
God,
that.
yes.
That's
And
going to be my.
They did a showcase the other day too. That looks.
Yeah, Annapurna. Yeah, they did a bunch of stuff. They're showing off. Like everything they're doing looks interesting.
I'm going to be honest. Annapurna have got to be one of the best indie publishers.
Yeah, I mean,
Okay.
they almost hardly count as indie at this point, though, right? They kind of like they straddle that line so strangely because they have so many connections to the film industry that it's almost like cheating.
Yeah.
But I love all of their output. Like it's you never know what to expect.
I'm really looking forward to 12 minutes. It's been anticipated for so long now. And
You usually only do 11 minutes, buddy.
what was that?
Nothing.
Huh? Psychonauts 2, August 25th,
Yep, I'll play that.
which would be
Yes.
I'm very keen for.
Mm-hmm.
But I think going into
Did either of you play the original?
Yep, I played the hell out of the original.
he did, I didn't. I'm just gonna watch the showcase, like the catch-up trail.
Yeah. Yep.
Easy achievements. If they had added achievements into an OG Xbox game, I would have played it.
I'm hoping they do a remaster at some stage. It's due one.
They have a remaster on the PlayStation, I think.
Oh, that would make sense then. Yeah.
Yeah. But I feel like it's not going to be added to this at all because they put so much work into that recap story thing.
Yeah, that makes sense.
So I guess we should move on to what we've been playing.
Yeah, Cameron, do you want to quickly run through what you've got?
Yeah, I'll quickly smash through because I've got like barely anything. Typical GTA 5. We did a last heist last week, yeah?
Yep. So we just had some cleanup on some of the last few achievements.
So I did some tennis with Vudix to help him out. I did some stuff with you. I'm still hoping that Run Like the Wind gets fixed, but it's Rockstar.
So
Who knows?
We'll see.
Black Ops 3, boosting sessions, typical thing. I think we've got Kyo. Pretty much everything but one achievement now, which we're all going to finish together doing zombies.
Mm-hmm.
So that's good. That's taken us, I think, like 3 months to one person. So
Perfect.
yeah, essentially Gears. Yeah. I played a little bit of the Ascent with Steven. I like it, but damn, is this game? Visually, it's amazing. Yeah, it is like one of the most stunning games I've ever seen visually, atmospherically, in that kind of sense. Yeah.
Yeah.
Audio is a bloody nightmare.
Right.
Essentially, I would go through. I would have conversations with NPCs, and the first bit of the sentence would just be repeating 3 times, which is never great. And that was a consistent issue across any NPC. So I basically just let Steven do it because I don't think it affects the host player. It got to the point.
How did you hear it with the volume on mute, though?
Skip.
Yeah.
Essentially, that's what I had. I actually liked the look of these characters, and that I was wanting to engage the story. But it's like, if it's going to be that, appalling audio-wise, I'm just not going to do it. Yeah.
Yeah.
But Steven was really enjoying it, so I kept on pushing through. It got to the point where essentially, every 2 minutes, I would, Steven, you need to do a reload, because the reload audio effect was just stuck in a loop. So it was like that, just constant for like a minute. And it's painful.
I don't feel like this is a real issue, though, Cameron.
For somebody that plays without audio, yes, I agree.
There are some other technical issues around menus and stuff as well. I know Cobra Todd was talking about some issues he was running into and stuff.
So essentially, every time that I was reloading to the game, I would get essentially you get the tutorial menu. You hold down B to exit out of it for about 5 seconds. Takes it away. Do that every single time you're in the game. It's a pain in the ass.
Right.
Yeah.
We had issues with elevators not working. I don't want to sound overly critical, but it was enough to destroy the immersion completely.
But it was a complete fucking piece of shit, and they should all be shot. Yeah. Okay.
It's one of those games that you look at it and it's just like, I really want this to be fixed, because this has like Game of the Year kind of potential. But
it's a 10 out of 10 game that you'd rate 0.5 out of 10.
Yeah. Well, I mean, that's like that's the thing, right? It's like it doesn't matter how good the game is or potentially could be if they completely fuck it on the technical, because like that's you just
Steven, going back to it too, like it's a case of you can't make out a soundtrack though if you're hearing like every. Like, you shouldn't get to a point where you have to tell your co-op partners, hey, you need to reload now because I'm stuck in this audio and it's bloody giving me a migraine.
Yeah, it's one of those things where I'm like, I was actually quite interested in playing it, but I'm just gonna wait. Like I'm sure the stuff will be patched and we'll be fine and like this will be all forgotten. But it's not a good first impression.
Did they delay?
No, I don't believe so.
Not significantly enough.
I think there was like a week or two, if that.
That's I just wasn't sure if I heard anything about it, but yeah, there was that. Played a little bit of Bloodroots, but it didn't really stick with me.
Okay.
Like, I mean, like, this is okay, but I just felt like it was very much samey the same. Didn't understand what was going on. Essentially, other than that, me and Dominator have been working on Halo, which has been good. He's actually started listening to the show, so a quick shout out to him as well.
We met him briefly. Seemed like a very nice guy.
He's been jumping into a few parties at like typical like AHA, us, some other people. But yeah, he's basically been helping me get down my Halo completion. He's showed me off to a few of his buddies. Because then, of course, everybody does the whole, all right, cool, you got 500,000 gamer score. And then they learn about you, and it's, oh my god, like, what the hell? Are they crazy? Do they have
Sorry
a life?
for paying attention to that loser. You, buddy. Here we go.
It's just like the guy with the girlfriend meme, right? You know, it's just we should make that the thumbnail.
It sucked though, because I'm gonna quickly go into personal life. Those that know me have been trying to I've been trying to find a house because essentially the house that I'm in at the moment has been sold out on me, which has led to some very interesting stuff this week, as in being offered a murder house.
Okay, so
you have phrased that terribly good.
Yeah, I was going to say, so, and this is for the listeners, this is exactly how he phrased it when he told us about it. He's like, oh, you know, we went and looked at a murder house. I was like, yeah, they told us it was a murder house, so I'm thinking about moving in. And I was like, is that a house where they let you murder people, or
do you jail?
All right, to give
jail.
You're going to jail. Got it. Yep.
To give context, there was a homicide there like 5 years ago, and I'm kind of like, yeah.
And you're like, oh wow, that's like every house I've ever lived in.
Killer savings.
It was right at that statute of limitations of when they had to tell you that there was a homicide in the house.
Yeah,
they were like, oof, do you want to see the house in a week? A week would be better for us.
It sucked because it was like, it was a really nice place too, and then they told us after the fact when I was basically set on the property. I'm like,
My favorite thing about when you told us this was that we had Charlotte Charmander in the chat, and she was like, "Oh yeah, when I lived in Hong Kong, they had to tell you when you went and looked for a house, and they used a little ghost icon next to the housing listing to know whether someone had been killed in there or not."
Little ghost emojis.
Yeah, little ghost emojis and shit. And it was like, all right, great. Apparently for Western, like, because you know Westerners would be like whatever, and they would get a really good deal on a fucking spooky house.
Yeah. Like,
yes, Murder House, Xbox Cast.
The more of this weird Hong Kong symbol, the cheaper the house. It must mean cheapness value.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
It's the cheapness rating.
I was just telling Nikita with it, just like, no, we just got to go with it. We'll get killer savings, it'll be okay. And just like, no.
Killer save, get the fuck out.
Yeah. Anyway, yeah, pretty much like Dominator's been mad with me every day this week because it's like, all right, he wants to do boosting in the middle of the day. I go to a house inspection. I get knocked back for another house push. Actually, it was very interesting. I went to one. I can't remember. Was it Wednesday or Thursday? I messaged you.
And it was
yeah.
And you didn't message me. Oh,
sorry. Those that can.
Clearly
cool.
not for me.
Cool. But essentially, yeah. Went in there. Really nice big deck. Yep. Context.
You can ask Matt about those later.
Mm-hmm. There's a video I need you to watch.
Yeah, there was a guy basically doing live entertainment, and it was the strangest thing I've ever had going to an open house inspection. Yeah,
so it was you described it like walking into like a commune, right? Like it was just a guy strumming on the guitar, being like, "Hey, bro, you want to come like live here or whatever?" And you're like, "I guess."
It was so weird though because he was like really fucking good. No, it was really good music, and I was just like,
he's like, man, if you like the music, can I just like live under the deck? Like,
And
can
you
I
were
just...
like, how are you connected to the house? Do you also live here?
So he's like, no, he was the estate agent. He just wanted to sell a CD at the same time.
I just said to him, just like, you know, I have never been to a house inspection that's been this chill. No, he was actually really talented. It was just such a weird experience. It's like, all right, cool. So I've got people coming over for a house inspection. I'm just gonna go out the back and start playing guitar.
Did it get tantric?
Ooh.
That's the
Yeah, okay.
Context?
No. There's absolutely there will be no context for that. But as CJ mentioned,
3 hours later, Cameron was not buying our house.
So, CJ points out in the chat that it's really good of you to return to the scene of the crime with the murder house. But
there's a whole extra story in that to it, but it's like I said, I'm gonna be pretty annoyed in a few weeks' time if you can't get a fucking house. Anyway.
Yeah. So if anyone has a place for Cameron to live, let him know. He'll work it out with you. But you played anything else this week?
Halo MCC. I am down to 6 achievements. I somehow managed to pop Halo 3's legendary speedrun under 3 hours.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
We just logged into the game and it's like, all right, 4 hours and 48 minutes. And I think Dom was at like 5 hours something, and it just popped. It's like, all right,
wow,
cool.
okay, cool.
Right. And then I talked on the Xbox cast the other day. It was like at 8 or 9, I think. The other one was for Halo 4. So we did the second half of Halo 4 today. We did Reclaimer because that was my most heftiest mission. We got that down. We did Shutdown because Shutdown probably has one of the best skips in all Halos, where you can essentially fly straight forward, curve a little bit, and fly through a building, and it takes you to the third checkpoint in the mission.
Oh.
So you cut it in 1/3.
Yeah.
It's just an amazing trick, and we got that down to like an 8-minute speed run. I think the world record's like 5. Wow. So off my 20-minute time, which is pretty cool. Then we did Midnight, which is the final mission of Halo 4, which for like half an hour, our friend Robin, Robin's Dom's friend, and this whole week has essentially been like, you have an Aussie accent. Just say words. And this has turned into a whole conversation of just like...
And you were like, water.
Yeah. Dance for me, monkey, dance.
It was essentially, lockdown. Like shit like that.
Howdy.
Essentially got to that point, and then we just kept on making like going under jokes because Aussie. Why not?
Yeah, that's like, that was always my go-to chat-up line when I was in the States was it's like, how do you feel about New Zealand kisses? They're like French kisses, but down under.
Mate, you and I both know that's got nothing to do with New Zealand.
That's hey, that's I mean, at least we have less clap than the Australians. So
at least you can get a bloody vaccine.
That's true. That's true.
But essentially going into it, she decided to stay around, help us out with Midnight. Midnight, I never realized you can actually fly out of the map at the very start on that flight.
Oh. Okay.
And then it's basically just trying to get the loading checkpoints to work.
Mm-hmm.
We wasted 40 minutes doing that because I figured out how to load the vinyl zone was flying back to where you're meant to come from.
Mm-hmm.
Freezes your console like completely up until the next thing. So essentially nobody can use you as a checkpoint and all that. They have to do the hard work, and then I'm just stuck here doing nothing.
Perfect.
Which, of course, because it's not me, they died immediately and we had to restart the mission. But whatever.
Right.
Eventually get it down. We just miss out on the time in the very last mission. We get them the achievements, but we lose out to my previous record, which is like 28 minutes compared to the new one that we got, which was 30. So like whatever. Right. Check my time just because I haven't in a few missions. Guess how far away I was?
A minute? 2 minutes?
13 seconds. 13 seconds.
Oh, you've got to be shitting me. That's brutal.
So it was like, all right, cool, we're doing another mission.
Yeah, exactly. Do the first mission. Whatever, it's something easy. Quick.
Dawn I had to optimize, so we did the second mission. Mm-hmm. And then the lag. This is... I can get Dom to carry me through everything except for Halo 2. Because Halo 2 has Iron Skull, so you can't checkpoint each other.
Yeah.
And oh my god, it's so painful. But we got it in the second mission, down to 6. I'm still debating if I want to use the reach achievement for the last one because I think it had a really nice tagline. I'm trying to think what it was.
I mean, hey, you got 60, you got a bit of options, and you still got a little bit of time to work on them, right? There's probably not going to be easy ones, otherwise you already have them.
I mean, reach CE will be as soon as I get Dom to help me with that one. Mm-hmm. The last achievement I was debating using though, and it might. I could probably tee it up. I'm just checking what it is now. Why do this to yourself?
Yeah, that's a fantastic. That's a great one. That's a.
I don't know why this is up for debate.
Yeah, that's 100% the one you should pick. Yeah, absolutely. Do everything else.
So there's like one final firefight or tying up loose ends is another good one, which is why I kept Halo CE for so long.
Sure.
It's probably going to be tying up loose ends or why do this to yourself.
Mm-hmm. All right, sounds good.
That's not. I just checked chat.
Yeah, no, that's I did the down under line did not work on Allison apparently.
Well, except it did.
Except it did, right? So
well, she was the one who asked, yeah.
Yeah, well, exactly. Whatever.
Roles reversed.
What does she know? Yeah, no, okay.
What's that? Why's you going for a tunnel?
I'm going through a tunnel. I go through a tunnel with an axe murderer. All right, I'll just. Is there anything else you've been playing?
No, I was just going to ask you, because there's obviously going to be a murder at your house soon. Can I move in there?
Yeah, sure. We got space. I'm starting a video game commune here, so yeah, just go for it, mate. Cool. The rent's going to be so cheap. All right, I'll just quickly flick through what I've been playing. It's not a lot because I've been away. We finished up GTA 5, at least for me, so I've done all the achievements except for Run Like the Wind.
So essentially, I'm getting left behind like I do with every other game.
I've kept the game installed.
How's Doom going for you, buddy?
Yeah.
just as good as Assassin's Creed Black Flag and Sunset Overdrive.
Yeah,
Did you get left behind there? Oh.
I've kept the game installed. We had a little bit of trouble towards the end of just the last bit of grinding. I had a hacker jump into my game and start dropping campfires on where I was supposed to be standing for the mission to start. Don't know what the fuck was going on there, but I would just burst into flames.
It was fun.
And I couldn't get rid of them. So whatever. Thankfully, I'd already got the achievement, so I was done with the game, but I was pretty fucking annoyed.
What about the snow around me?
Yeah, the weird snow stuff around you was strange. I don't know what the fuck was happening. I think it was a hacker just fucking with our shit. Also did some Neverwinter. I've done the grind, or most of the grind for the latest campaign. Got the achievement for that, and now I just do my daily login. I'm debating how much more I want to put into it because the game's just getting worse and worse as they add to it. But whatever, it's fine. It's the thing that'll never end. Dragon Quest 11.
I was quickly going to say, Kirby, do you want to add on about was it you that was saying about the potential unobtainables?
Apparently, the next update dropping fall this year, I don't know when fall is, it's a month or something, is going to drop the level cap to 20, which...
What? Oh.
Apparently it's going to drop the level cap to 20, which then kills the achievements for getting to like level 60 and level 70.
Oh, boy.
Unless they change it in time.
Which they probably will.
Of course they will.
They will.
They're very good at making sure everything works when the new updates drop.
Yeah, well, they'll make it work. It just won't be immediately, but they do usually get to it.
Yeah,
so but here's an NOA. Go fix your shit, and then we'll see something a few months later.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So great. I get to that. Look, I've been avoiding all the Neverwinter news, so that's just fucking fantastic. I've been playing a little bit of Dragon Quest 11. Like I said, I'm at the very end of the game. It's basically just, hey, I need to gear up to fight off some of, like, I've got like one last trial to do. I got to do a bunch of the casino stuff. And I've got like this super final secret boss that I need to beat that I was like, oh, I'll give it one try, and it's got completely smashed. So we'll get to that, I guess. I'm enjoying the game. Like I said last week, it's a lot better now that I've gotten further into it. But I'm kind of at like the sort of end game grindy bit that I'm back to not enjoying it as much. But it's fine. I'll just clean it up. I'm about 60 or so hours in, 70 almost. So maybe another 5 or 10 hours and I'll be done with it. I've also been playing a bit of Final Fantasy 7 Windows 10 version because it's leaving Game Pass at the end of next week. So I'm just rushing through that. I've just got to the end of Midgard. It's not a great game. It's fine. I mean, it hasn't aged very well. And looking at it where it's like, oh, like not having ×3 speed on, I don't know how anyone played this game legit on like the PlayStation.
Yeah.
Because it's so fucking slow. It's like molasses. It's unbelievably slow.
It's uncomfortably slow.
Yeah, like it just, I don't know why. I guess they didn't have anything to compare it to, but like, and I know it's probably because I'm used to like having flashing lights in my fucking eyes and, you know, Twitch shooting, and like I've just lost all ability to sit still. But yeah, it's like playing it on ×3 speed is the way it needs to be played. You run around too fast, like it controls too quickly, but the cutscenes are the right speed. So
Yeah.
take that what you will.
If only they could have done that for 10 and 10-2.
Yeah, 10 really did need that as well.
Just a double would have been fine.
A double would have been great, yeah.
Yep.
But it's unfortunate. And the thing that I've been spending a little bit of time on also is Omno, which Cameron talked about last week, and I was talking about with a few other people, with Charlotte and stuff. People have been recommending it. It's a very cutesy, laid-back puzzle platformer with a great art style, a sort of you know, a light touch on the story, but a lot of whimsy. And just absolutely beautiful vistas and like some really great skyboxes. And the puzzles are just like the right amount of challenging. I had a simple time with it, just kind of ran through it in about 2 or 3 hours. But I'm looking forward to seeing what they do next. It's the kind of stuff that I love having on Game Pass. A nice break from the 100-hour games. But that puts me at about 4,555 or somewhere around there. It's not exact.
Oh God, we need numbers. Damn it!
I was gonna say I don't think I even said my numbers. It's 1,100 and something.
Kirby, what about you, mate? I can find your numbers for you.
Oh, I've got numbers. It's all right.
Oh, yeah, you got it. Yeah.
Yeah, I've used the old one.
Where's Kirby's old number? 04.
So I guess we will touch on 4 titles. Yeah. First up, Raji, an ancient epic. That was a game. It's in Game Pass. I think it joined Game Pass recently.
Yeah, like a week or two ago.
Yeah, but it was released in October last year. Really good game. It's about, I mean, if you sort of rush through, and even it's not really rushing, but you can probably get it done in 4 hours or so, 4 or 5 hours. Pay attention to a guide for the orbs. There's collectible orbs that you use to upgrade. That's really the only difficult achievement, because everything else is either story based or it's for watching looking at all of the murals and hearing the story. And the murals are like, they are shoved in your face, so you are choosing to miss them.
Gotcha.
Like if you don't get those achievements, it's because you chose not to look at the murals, not because you couldn't find them. I think they've just recently released an update fixing the find all the orbs achievement, because there was a workaround, but I think they fixed it. I think they dropped that today, so that should be fixed. So you shouldn't need the workaround, because the second weapon you get is a bow, and it's just that's the only weapon you need at that point.
Right.
There's a move that you learn, and all of the weapons have sort of the same ways you can attack. You either attack normally or attack strong or jump off a wall and attack. Jumping off anything and hitting Y then Y with the bow just decimates. Like especially if you upgrade whatever element you've got at the time, it starts off with lightning, then gives you fire and then ice. The game becomes a joke in terms of the combat.
Right.
I don't think it was intended to be a particularly difficult game anyway, but like that just allows you to immerse yourself in the story and the way it presents itself. Really good. Next up, I will talk about 2 different games from Wales Interactive, Nightbook and The Dark Adventures of Paul Monroe.
Oh, yep.
I feel like that's the name. Dark Nights with Paul Monroe. Nailed it.
Dark Nights with Poe and Monroe.
Yeah. I look, I'm a huge fan of almost all of the FMV games that Wales Interactive does. I wasn't a big fan of Nightbook. I just think the way it was presented and the way the story sort of had to happen didn't grab me. I didn't really care about the characters or anything.
Right.
it's not a super complicated. It's a standard Wales FMV. You play through once, you skip the scenes that you've already seen, and watch the new ones with the new choices. Again, story didn't really grab me, but it's not too difficult a game. Unlike Dark Knights with Poe and Monroe, which is a very good game and different with how they did the choices. So rather than, because typically you would pick a dialogue line or something like that, and that's how the story progresses in these types of games. In this one, you would make a choice between essentially two things that you will talk about. So like it might be in the start of the radio show, and it's what sound effect you're going to play. So you're picking between a picture of a cat, a picture of a thunderstorm, and scissors, I think it was, but you're not selecting dialogue. You're sort of selecting what the next part of the story will follow along with.
It's more like tone.
Yeah. So it was really good, and I mean, you can, once you've played through the 6 episodes, you can then skip all the scenes, whether you've seen it or not, to do the mop up. So again, another super easy Wales interactive, but I also, going into the game, I guess, knew the characters and liked them from the Shapeshifting Detective.
Yeah.
So yeah, it was an enjoyable game. Last up was a game that I finished recently, and it was painful. Jetpack Refueled.
Oh yeah, an Xbox Live Arcade classic, right?
Yeah, 200 Gamerscore. Those were the days, you know. First 170, relatively easy. It's you know, there's a viral achievement that's kind of could be if you're playing with someone else, and some co-op, but really not too bad. And then there's the beating the game achievement, which is sitting at a ratio of 8.03.
Oh God.
For good reason. The game is nice enough in that it will checkpoint you every 4 levels. So the levels go, you build a ship that's in 3 parts, then you get 6 pieces of fuel, fly off in your ship, and do the next stage where you just have to pick up the fuel because your ship still exists.
Right.
So essentially do 4 levels per ship, and then on level 5, you're making a new ship. But you checkpoint there, so you can always start off your game with your starting number of lives and 0 points, because in typical old style game fashion, you hit a certain threshold of points, you gain a new life. So it's often benefits you to, once you hit that checkpoint, unless you've got a huge stock saved up, just quit and restart from then, because you'll be at 0 points and you can hit those earlier thresholds to gain those lives quicker.
Right. Yep.
I cannot for the life of me remember what I was starting at. I think it was about 107 of 128. So, you know, I was most of the way through the game, and I went back to it. I'm like, you know, let's have a go, finish it off. We'll see what happens. See, I was swearing my head off at this game. It was just, most of the enemies are okay. 90% of the enemies you can kill in one shot, and they have a pattern of how they move. Mm-hmm. 2 enemies are just garbage. There's like a tiki totem head that floats around and then occasionally turns sideways and rockets off. Right. They need like 4 or 5 shots to kill. And sometimes on some of the levels, when you shoot them, they get smaller. So then they're harder to shoot, and they move faster as well because they're smaller and lighter for whatever godforsaken fucking reason. And the robot spiders, who will spawn wherever they spawn. They might spawn above you, like directly above you, and, you know, sucks to be you, you're going to get hit. Or they'll spawn wherever, and they crawl along the ground and jump. And it doesn't matter where you're standing, they will jump to you. You could be at the top of the screen and be like, oh, I'm within range in the horizontal plane. Vertical we go, and just fucking annihilate you every time.
Right. So
towards the end of the game, they just spawn them in the thousands.
Of course they do.
Because why not? Because why would we want to have a fun, balanced game? Yeah, it's just awfully painful. Like, I'm glad I got it done. It was a huge like I felt good doing it. Like I felt like I'd achieved something, which is kind of the point of the achievements. But just it really was painful in some parts because the amount of times I was playing, I'm like, okay, I'm in a great spot. I've just got boom, I die. Boom, I die. Boom, I die. I'm like, of course you fucking would spawn there. Of course you just fucking spawn above me and fall directly into my path, and there's nothing I can do about it. Great, fantastic.
So it's that bullshit old style game design, right?
Yeah, it's a quarter eater, plain and simple. But really glad I got it done. Highly recommend it to anyone who doesn't want to finish it to boost that ratio.
Of course you do. Of course you do, buddy.
Yeah, but
it's part of the rare replay collection, so you got to do it at some stage.
Yeah, it is definitely doable, and whether you just take an hour to get through one set of 4 levels to get to the checkpoint, and then just like call it a day, that's fine. It is doable, but it is not easy.
Right.
When did I start? I started this 15th of March 2016. So before I cared about achievements, I must have bought Rare Replay like a chump.
Yeah. Well, they were basically giving it away, right? I think.
Yeah. So then that's 5 years in the making.
So it's a hell of an achievement.
Yeah. It was great.
So Banjo when?
What?
I said Banjo when?
I've done Kazooie already. It was bad. I think I used the cheats for unlimited life and unlimited whatever. And then because as soon as you quit the game, you lose those cheats. So I just did it all in one sitting.
Yeah.
I didn't mind Rare Replay. I just Grabbed by the Ghoulies is the one I hate.
I haven't touched that one. And I think I've done half of Tui, but I don't remember.
Yeah. Tui's not that great.
And I like Nuts and Bolts. Again, it's not a Banjo game, and that's fine.
But it's a fine game.
But it's as a game, there's nothing wrong with it.
I need to bring that up the next time you see Nikita, because Nikita will start an argument with somebody over it.
Yeah. So
it's not a Banjo game. I mean, it is a Banjo game.
Banjo's in it. You play as him.
Yeah. He is the titular character.
100%.
But I did 6,045 game score this week.
Very nice.
Nice. Good job.
I see, Cameron, you're on 1,145 there, buddy. Ooh.
I've been too busy making graphics and stuff this week.
Yeah. Yeah, too busy not being good. Couldn't muster up a graphic for my my little name tag there though. Couldn't figure out.
We did.
My logo.
We did. Here, I'll swap back to the other one, and you can look.
All right. Well, while you're doing that, let's have a look. Speaking of the leaderboards,
I'm just gonna call. Look, give me 2 seconds. We're gonna call him out.
Yeah.
Then we'll swap
I see it there.
Yeah, because that was the one that broke. That was the one that fucking broke.
Once you take that away and change to the other one, no one knows what I look like.
All right. So the Hall of Gamers leaderboard, for those who don't know, is basically we've got a leaderboard on TA that you can join, that we have all of our listeners on, or as many listeners who want to be on it, where we all compete each week to see who can have the highest gamer score. And of course, it's none of us all of the time. So we've got Chapter back up there again, but with 26,775 this week, a slightly more, it's a slightly more down to earth number, very respectable. We've got our old friend Hatton90, boxing extraordinaire, with 20,548. I don't know what the fuck happened there. And then our other good friend from AHA, Jeremy, Red47, with 18,020. So congratulations, guys. You guys doing a good job. We didn't even get close, so you guys need to calm it down a little bit. But hopefully, when the title updates stop, these, But then again, actually, the trash games never stop coming out. So what am I saying? All right. Do we have any Patreon shout-outs that we want to do?
Yeah, I'm going to quickly shout out to me because I realized how to fix it then with Kirby's incessant. Oh, my tag is missing. Oh. Anyway, cool. All right, so just shouting out, if you are
I do like 2 years of podcast with you, wanker.
I know, right? I know. Like, it's fucking just...
All right, moving along. So on our Patreon, if you are under the tier 2 or tier 3, you will be getting a shout out from now on the podcast. So we want to quickly shout out Audrey Lilly, Retro Chief, Cavalier07, Hack and Pawn, Kung Fu Skills, Hawkeye Berry, and Peter Nightingale.
Thank you, guys. Without
Oh, you don't know his game tag?
We don't know his game tag.
Don't know, but he supported the show ever since RGS. I asked the question, and you ignored me and stuff. So
you asked Alex.
No, I asked everybody, and Alex was the one.
I am not everybody. I am Kirby.
Kirby can be everyone, though.
Yes. God damn it.
But yeah, so thank you guys so much. Without your support, we literally could not do this show. And I'll it's, I know I'm kissing a lot of ass this episode, but we really do appreciate it now that we've kind of struck out on our own doing our thing here. It's never been more apparent how much money we need to keep this shit going. So we hopefully you find this entertaining, and if you don't, what the fuck are you doing?
There we go. Fucking Big Box is back. Look, we've got the best version. Oh, okay, never mind.
All right, so we've also got a question this week from our favorite question asker, Isaac.
He is my favorite question asker. That's not even like pandering.
Yeah, he's great. He's fantastic. We love Isaac. All right, so the question is, hey guys, though it's uncommon in America, people in Japan use IC cards to simply touch and pay for things like transport and everything else. I've been told that there's a similar thing used in Australia.
Yeah.
Even though it's just money and it doesn't matter, it slightly bugs me when the amount of the account that you get doesn't end in a 5 or a 0. Does it bother you when your gamer score ends in something other than a 5 or a 0? And is there anything else you try to keep ending in 5 and 0 as well? Congrats on the new show. Thanks. Thank you, Isaac. We greatly appreciate your support with the questions, and we love hearing from you. Our fan in Japan.
Yeah.
I'm just checking now. I'm at 590,398.
Yep, I just looked at mine as well. 1,133,797.
Fuck, that's horrific. I'm actually going to be ill.
Hold up. 1,097. Never mind. Brilliant.
All right. So
I am down with
all right,
the
I'm going
kids.
to go first. The whole 5 and 0 argument is bullshit. And
eat a dick. if you finished your games, it wouldn't be a problem. I mean, unless you're playing Smite, apparently, or something, right?
Look, there are unfortunately now enough games where finishing it isn't good enough that...
Yeah, you're right.
Being upset that games don't have 0s and 5s in their specific list is a dumb argument. Wanting your number to end in a 0 or 5, I'm okay if you want it. I don't care anymore, but I'm okay if you want it.
100%. I immediately always go to Ashen for the argument of this one. The full list is what, 1,337 or something along those lines?
36 or something. Yeah, it's weird.
That's the only time where I find it a bit stupid. Like, if you're going to do title updates, have it as an even 5 or 0.
You know why they didn't, though?
Stand out?
It'll be the trophy values, the trophy point values.
Yeah, that makes sense too.
Right.
Well, that's just lazy then.
Likely be, yeah. That's Streets of Rage 4 recently had their DLC. Same thing. They took the sort of raw trophy experience value and just said, that's your gamer score then.
Right.
So bronzes are 5s or whatever, and silvers are 20, and yeah, something like that.
Gotcha.
I think it falls into the camp of, like, if the game is like a 1,000 or has an ending 0.5 value, I'm okay with that. But I mean, in terms of gamer score, I mean, it's whatever, really.
I'm on the other end of this. I am very, very anal about it. It's the kind of thing that triggers me in a way that I just want to keep it at 5 or 0. I've been very, very strict about it. To be fair, I try to complete as many games as I can. I haven't really run into a lot that have that issue.
Who's buying Ashen for him?
I'm not playing Ashen. I nearly did. I'm glad I didn't at this point.
Depends. Does Matt want to take a trip to another country?
No, I hear Argentina's nice this time.
Lovely South American summers.
But yeah, I don't know. It's like it does actually bother me a little bit. But like now that I'm not buying games, I pretty much know that I don't have to worry about it too much. Most games are 5s and 0s. So. I'm
trying to think of any other games that do it.
I think Smite had a few title updates.
Start Streets of Rage 4 in his tag.
Ooh, you son of a bitch! You don't fucking dare.
Freeze is one that comes to mind as well.
3s, yeah. Right.
Oh,
uneven
the
score.
list, man, is ruining. 3s, like the number, not freeze.
All right,
like
shut up.
What you'll do to your nothing.
All right.
Shut up, Big Kirby.
Yeah. Good
All
Kirby's
right.
back. All right, nah, keep it there, buddy. We are.
All right. Well, I think that's going to bring us to the end of this fucking shit show.
Don't we love that we can show them the memes of the Yes the podcast? Yeah, give me 2 seconds. I can fix this. Yeah, I can fix this.
No, I'm not waiting for any of this. All right. If you want to get in contact with us, the best way to find us is Discord. Discord.io/GPNGG. Like we said at the top of the show, you can come talk to us on there. We've got a chat. We've got a section with a few channels for us, for the word challenge, for the podcast, for the patrons. That's also where we put out our Lights, Camera, and Action and this podcast. And we, basically post when we're going live. There's also all the other GPN stuff in there with all the great content with now that the site's launched. So go check that out. We've also now got an Instagram, GPN Hall of Gamers, that Cameron is doing an amazing job of setting up.
It looks very pretty.
It does look very pretty. It does look.
Your first Instagram post is going to be.
Does look very pretty.
I've already got like 6 posts, but
delete them.
I've already done that once.
Delete them, and you put your best customer there.
God damn it! All right. Also, your mic sounds like shit now, Kirby. So thanks for that.
Great, you're welcome.
I have to fucking edit this. All right. We've also got our Twitter at GPN Hall of Gamers. Want to come hit us up, send us some messages, slide into our DMs. Otherwise, you can email us at gpnhallofgamers@gmail.com. Kirby, if people want to find you, what are the deets?
Okay, I am on Xbox as ChinDocta. I'm on True Achievements as ChinDocta. I'm on Twitter as ChinDocta. I'm on Twitch as ChinDocta1.
Oh, so Professor Pluto 1? Yeah.
Yeah. No, but it's ChinDocta. Or, it's if you were live with us, you'd have seen it spelt the whole fucking time. Right there written. Just saying.
Even more reason to watch the live show.
Watch the live show.
Me to spell it out to you.
Catch the VOD. Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. And just to quickly say with that too, if you haven't watched the video for this episode, you need to.
There's a lot of visual gags going on.
Yeah, there is a reason why the old show didn't run super smoothly, and it's because I existed. Absolutely. Yeah, between you and Cameron, it was a fucking shit show. Yeah, they wouldn't let me use any backgrounds for this, but boy, if they did, we
would be breaking TOS very quickly.
Yeah.
Cameron, what about you, mate?
You can find me as Shadowless Edge on pretty much Discord. Sorry, mental blank. Discord, Twitter, Instagram, TA, Xbox, Carrier Pigeon, Kirby Looking to My Soul. Yeah, cool. I don't know.
Sweet. And if you want to find me, you can find me on True Achievements and Xbox and Discord at Neomaster. Hit me up. I'm always hit me up with some ASL, and we'll role play like it's the 90s again. Anyway, I'm going to bring the show to a close. Thank you, everyone. Thank you, our subscribers. I think we got another subscriber from Calevra.
Did we?
Yes, earlier on in the show.
It didn't pop up.
Calevra subscribed to Tier 1.
That's because you're a chump.
He resubscribed, so thank you again for that. And thank you again.
Work, but whatever.
Thank you.
No, to be fair, resubs
don't
pop up unless they push it.
Okay.
So again, thank you for all the support. We love you guys. We'll catch you guys next week with episode 5.
I only like you as friends.
All right, fuck off. Peace.
Catch us.
See ya.